What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble? The black moon swings, the sky stirs trouble. By violent ends, we kill the light. I'm Patrick Galactic, and you are weird at night.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Evelyn? Yes, Merrywince? Who is that? Whom? What? I believe you meant to ask me whom the person I am standing next to is. Yes, Evelyn. Whom is that brooding ne'er-do-well standing uncomfortably close to you? I'm not uncomfortable. In fact, I think I quite like it, Merrywince. Are you insinuating, Evelyn, that this unwashed, unemployed fool could bring you personal comfort that I, Merrywince G. Tuttlebutt, cannot? Yes. Oh dear. Merrywince. Yes, Evelyn? You've never tried to comfort me before. Of course not! We are upper crusters with standing, finance, responsibilities, patriotic duties. What room for comfort is there? You live in a bag of cheese, Merrywince. Yes, Evelyn. Shall we continue skipping merrily in our despair? Yes, 1,000 times, yes! La 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 la. Inner nibbles.
What's up, everybody? It's Patrick Galactic, and you are watching the 20th episode of Weird at Night with Patrick Galactic. And that's pretty flattering to me that you're here. And that's really cool. And we have a bunch of stuff to share with you tonight that I'm really excited about. So, with all of that said, what do you think of Inner Nibbles? I think Merrywince kind of has a lot to prove still in the situation. I mean, if we're being honest, it's Merrywince has something to prove, and hopefully he'll find the time to prove it at some point. But not tonight. Not tonight. Not on the 20th episode of Weird at Night. We've got a really special episode. I worked extra hard on this one. I hope you like the incantation. That is actually the very first incantation we ever did from the pilot episode. That was the first time I ever did it, and I really hope that that was kind of cool. But we got a lot to run through here. We're going to have album recs, as always. We have a brand new correspondent for the show, Doc Blammer, who is going to... on-the-spot correspondence. This is not just your average... Anyway, I have a very special message for you that is from a very special guest. They wanted to congratulate us on a job well done at Weird at Night. So here you go. Hey, everybody. It's me. It's Patrick Galactic, the star of the show, Weird at Night, with Patrick Galactic. I just want to congratulate us, and particularly myself, for getting to 20 episodes. I mean, this is a startling amount of consistency for me. You may not know that, but since we started way back in April of 2020, At that time, the president of the United States had not even told us to inject disinfectants into our lungs yet. That's how different things were. But I guess when I think of the show, really, it's just the dream of a 40-year-old kid who had a dream. Yeah, had a dream. A dream not to die in the pandemic. And I haven't, and neither have you. So thank you, thank me. Let's get it started. Back to you, Patrick. Thanks, Patrick. That was cool. That's really great to have your input on the show. Without me, there is no show. Let's just be honest. It's a real accomplishment for all of us, but mostly me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And here's another thing I think we all can enjoy, whether you can see my mouth moving in real time or not. It's July 5th, officially. It is no longer July 4th. And that's really, really cool because honestly, this year was the least celebratory I've ever felt on the 4th of July. I usually don't like celebrating on the 4th of July anyway because there's a lot of fucked up things in this country, but this year seems particularly fucked up. To be honest, the more explosions I hear today, the angrier and more irritated I get because what the fuck are we celebrating, y'all? Like, we have fucking coronavirus outbreaks all over the fucking place. We have fucking police brutality, people of color being brutalized, and this is not a time to really celebrate, to be honest. So, you know, if you're big into the 4th of July and this is a big special day for you, I don't know what to say. I'm just saying this year, I do not feel like fucking flying some flag that people who are fucking aping Nazi marketing techniques are also using. That American flag, the problem with any symbol is that when people use it for nefarious purposes, it gets associated with those purposes. And unfortunately, the American flag this year just doesn't seem like a super fucking popular thing for me to wave around. So we should probably just get this out of the way. Now, usually I would just cut a promo and try to be silly about this, but America, I got something to say to you. We are in deep, deep shit, okay? And the reason we're in deep, deep shit is because people can't fucking put aside their fantasies about what the world is and actually engage with what the world is now. And we have to do that if we're ever going to fucking make it, people. So wear a fucking mask, wash your fucking hands, that's great. But at the same time, let's also remember that when you feel like your traditions are being threatened, and when you feel like your good times and great oldies of America are on the line, you're also failing to recognize that there are people who are systemically oppressed by these same forces that you feel protected by. They are the same people that you know that in your neighborhood that they would never call the cops. The cops would be the last people they'd ever call. So in America today, we are celebrating essentially being an ignorant bunch of twats. And I'm not proud. I'm not proud of us. We got to do better. And doing better means listening when somebody who is being hurt tells you they're being hurt. Listening and having empathy and compassion for people is something that we have just lost. And I don't know how we get it back. But America, we are fucked. And I am not going to wrap myself up in a bunch of fake patriotism and fucking go buy hot dogs and beers and fucking pretend like we have something to party about. We don't. We need to get our shit together. If people are that concerned about partying, fuck this. Okay? So, I wish I could be a little more festive about it, but there is no way to say that nicely. So, let's get our shit together maybe, huh? Now, on a different note, if you're into it, you should join our Discord because it is a lot of fun. We just started it this last week, and we got about, 15 people in there so far. But it has been a blast. We have channels in there for automatic writing. It's called Automania. I'm dropping a link to the Discord in there. It's good. for up to 25 people. So please jump in on that. We would love to have the community be represented more. We'd love to grow the community, and we got a bunch of fun stuff for you over there. Ash, Maddie, Alex, Death, Blazing Space. They've all been checking in regularly. I'm checking in every day, a few times a day, and we're having a great time. So I really hope that maybe you'll give that a shot, huh? Because it's kind of better than Facebook, honestly. Like, if you have been trying to figure out a way to get off Facebook, I recommend that maybe you try getting on Discord, because it is like a curated audience of people that you like who gather around this particular stuff that you all like, and it's really fun. And people get to interact with people that they kind of have a good presumption they're going to get along with. So really, there's no downside. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm getting an urgent transmission. Just a minute. Oh, wow. Okay. This is our new segment. Blammer, Doc Blammer, the new correspondent that I just told you about, who is in the field for Weird at Night news, just sent me this story. Breaking. A lack of consensus between hurtling asteroid dinosaur community signals new era for some. Others voice concerns. July 3rd, 150 million BC. Today, the Center for Hurtling Asteroids announced a bold initiative for sweeping Earth redevelopment and urban renewal. The people want a fresh start, said a spokesman for the center. They want to be able to run and play at peace in the park without fear of super T-Rexes and dinosaur-on-dinosaur violence directly affecting them. I can tell you the elder dinosaur community has been asking for this for years as well. At the hearing, many prominent community members praised the new efforts. Look, I don't care if you're a brachiosaur, triceratops, pterodactyl, T-Rex, whatever. I love everybody. I just think they might be happier on another planet because we need change now, one public comment stated. These communities have gotten out of hand. Still, some community members have expressed concern about the redevelopment. In an official statement, the Center for Hurtling Asteroids said that while it would not halt any asteroid advancement, listening to the public is important, and it would offer a 1-hour public hearing with space for comments. That's all for now from Doc Blammer. Thank you. Woo! Wow. The news, it comes in hot, it comes in heavy. So if you get a chance, check it out. Doc Blammer, I am going to throw this into the chat right now. If you don't follow Doc Blammer on Instagram, give him a shot. Absolutely one of our top correspondents, and they only just begun. I believe the audio is starting to sync up a little better. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong. Never mind. It seems out of sync again. Okay, so so now we are going to move on to album recs. All right, so we have a really cool set of recommendations this week. I did not reach too far into the vault or go for hipster cool points, really, which I'm guilty of sometimes. I will admit that. But the first album on my list is the Beach Boys' The Smile Sessions. Now, the reason I picked this record is because it kind of is steeped in the classic Americana tropes, musically and otherwise, that the Beach Boys were always a part of. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's really about the story that's untold about the way white people took the United States from Native people. And the lyrics were written by, not by Brian Wilson. The album was largely composed by Brian, and the melodies were written by him. I can't remember the Van Dyke Parks, I believe, was the lyricist on the record. And Brian Wilson essentially wrote this with Van Dyke Parks, and then they wrote it while the Beach Boys were on tour. Brian wasn't a touring musician. So when the Beach Boys showed up and were presented with Smile, they were kind of dumbfounded. Pet Sounds had already thrown them off course in their own minds pretty drastically because the experimentation on that record just wasn't something that they were prepared to do. And Smile really takes things another step further. It's a classic, amazing, lost masterpiece. It's a record that was rumored for 40 or 50 years before it was finally released. And it actually really was worth the wait. I have to be honest, Brian Wilson released Smile before these sessions came out on his own. And though I did enjoy them, um, hearing him as a younger man who can sing a little better is actually a lot more fun. I was able to see Brian Wilson and his band perform Smile live at the Paramount, and feel very, very privileged for that. But check out Smile if you haven't, because it's a beauty. The next one is another low-hanging fruit, but hey, man, if you haven't heard it before, you really, really need to. Superfly by Curtis Mayfield. This record was created for the Superfly movie. Curtis Mayfield wasn't told what the depiction of the movie would be of inner city culture. And when he did see the way the main character was portrayed as this anti-hero drug dealer who kind of protects the neighborhood, he was appalled and offended. And he wrote a soundtrack that expressly went against the grain of the movie, basically as a counterpoint to what the characters in the movie are doing. And from the very first track, Little Child Running Wild, to the very end, this thing does not let up. If you know me and if you followed my music career at all, you might know that I play bass in a band called Hail Mary. And the bass playing on this record influenced me so profoundly as a player, that I try to kind of get those grooves into it whenever I can. And trying to jam a Curtis Mayfield groove into an Americana song isn't always easy, but when the opportunity presents itself, I run right through the fucking door, because Superfly is it's a masterpiece. Make sure you listen to that. And lastly, Karen Dalton, In My Own Time. This is a record that was re-released a few years back by Light in the Attic Records here in Seattle. And Karen Dalton was a singer-songwriter, prolific, but not extraordinarily well-known. However, she was able to use her kind of distinctly raspy vulnerability to really, really, really make powerful connections. It's kind of, this record is interesting because it's got some lo-fi, almost garage production, but some kind of country Americana elements to it as well. So you can kind of see some groundwork laid here for bands like Wilco, that later took those same tonalities and took them even further. So Karen Dalton is an absolute gem. Don't sleep on Karen Dalton. And if you want to hear all these tracks, you can, because I'm going to drop them into the chat, but I'm also curating a playlist on Spotify right now, Weird at Night Selects. I'm going to drop a link to the other two records plus that playlist, and we will make sure that you follow it, because there's over 500 songs in there now, because I've been recommending albums for a while. And there's also just a whole bunch of, if you just put that playlist on shuffle, you're going to find a bunch of weird stuff. It could go from Miles Davis to Wire to Gang of Four to back to Miles Davis again. You never know. So there's Karen Dalton. And then here's the link for Weird at Night Selects. Okay. All right. So make sure you follow the Weird at Night Selects playlist. Thank you all for your participation with the playlist. It's really fun to get your opinions about what I've added. If you have suggestions for Weird at Night and what we can add to it to make it more interesting, please send it to weiirdatnight@gmail.com. If you and if you also make weird ass art, just strange stuff, whether it's music videos, if you make GIF art, if you're a painter, if you make short films, poetry, animations. The only thing I can't do is show nudity. Twitch will have my head for that. But beyond that, it's a pretty open forum, and we have a pretty good rate of success getting people on the show. So with that, we go from one set of music recommendations to another set of music-related things that I don't recommend at all. This next band, through a series of extortions, threats, and blackmail, has become the house band for Weird at Night. Their name is Gross Gorgeous. They're terrible. I don't think they're very good. Olga Lowe appears to be a monster. She is the one who was writing to me about the band and threatened to expose me for I don't even know what. But their new album, it is 4 minutes and 20 seconds long, exactly 4:20, 3 songs. It's called Fake, False, and Fucked. And here it is. I don't think this is funny. Actually, this is fucking not funny at all. Get the fuck back here fucking now!
Find
So that was Gross Gorgeous. Their debut EP, as I said, Fake, False, and Fucked. It's on SoundCloud. I dropped the link. I don't know why you would listen to it. It's garbage, but that's fine. They're our house band now through, like I said, a series of extortions on the part of Olga Lowe, who you can see here, pictured next to her cohort, Jack Panda. Now, I was asked to read what they've called their manifesto, so I'm going to do that real quick so we can quickly just move on. Okay, I did not write this. This was sent to me. You don't know us yet because you are currently sleeping. When you wake up and see the perfection laid out so painstakingly in front of you, you will know you are witnessing history. Gross Gorgeous is the most genius shit band of the 21st century, and we are only 20 years in, loves. You've let the posers and the flakes dictate what your taste is. You've forgotten that Paul was the best Beatle and Wings was a pinnacle of modern humanity. You've put up with boring drivel for too long, but have no fear. Olga and Jack are here. Gross Gorgeous will set you free. All right, so there you have it. Gross Gorgeous. Check him out on SoundCloud. Give him a follow, because otherwise she's going to yell at me again, and really, it's been unpleasant. But you'll be hearing more of them forthcoming. I've heard that they have plans to release kind of an EP a month. I'm not even sure what that means, because that entire EP was 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. So let's pay some bills. On the most appropriate day ever, the dark levers of power remind you, never ever allow anything to change ever, because Am I Too Poor to Live? A fun game. The mega hit of 2020 by Dalton Madley. Reality is a conspiracy because it's not what I've been telling myself it is my entire life without research. And Shitty's Pizza, the hospital, is next door. Use promo code WhyGodDoWeSuffer. You get a free depubing, normally $4.99. Limit 1 per customer unless you're Alex F&V in the chat, and then you get 2. But no one else will get that. I assure you, the people at Shitty's do not mess around. And then, let's see. It's on the corner of 9th and Nocturnal Drive, just past the memory of your first fully charged smartphone. We're going to take a little chat break called Pissin' the Night Away.
a Nanamuto film review. Don't call it a movie. If you do, he'll be mad.
Watch Knives Out. Don't watch the trailers. Knives Out 2019. Directed by Ryan Johnson. Starring Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Who done it? Who cares? When Murder on the Orient Express arrived in theaters 2 years ago with its amazing ensemble cast, it looked like the whodunit genre may be the next big money-making Hollywood retread. Unfortunately, the execution of the film fell flat, even with an amazing cast and competent director in Kenneth Branagh. What we needed was a unique take on a stale genre, a genre that hadn't given us anything new since 2001's Gosford Park. Ryan Johnson delivered just such a distinct twist on the murder mystery with last year's Knives Out. Johnson, who's one of the finest filmmakers working today, skillfully wrote and directed the film, just like he did with Brick, 2005, and Looper, 2012. If you liked either of those films, then Knives Out is for you. Much like his previous films, Johnson's ensemble cast is chock full of talent, and none more so than Ana de Armas, who ends up being the focal point of a film that is more of a howdunit than a whodunit. Daniel Craig's portrayal of Benoit Blanc is the other standout performance. The character gives the entire film a sense of whimsy and spectacle that, without which, would relegate Knives Out to the unfortunate dark side of the genre, like James Mangold's Identity, 2003, which relied on the multiple personality serial killer trope that we saw so much of in the early days of the millennium. I work smart to entice my readers to see good films without giving anything away, so I won't share too much more. Unfortunately, the trailers for Knives Out are working against me. If you've yet to see this excellent film, I recommend skipping the trailers and limiting the reviews you read to this one. Well acted, shot beautifully with a whimsical touch. Who done it? Who cares? With Knives Out, I do. If fellow whodunits Gosford Park, 2001, and Murder on the Orient Express, 2017, are a B and C respectively, then Knives Out is a resounding A.
It's a Nanamuto film review. Don't call it a movie. If you do, he'll be mad.
And Blammer news here. Oh boy. Breaking. Tensions between volcano, neighboring town boil over. July 3rd, 2020. A confrontation between a normally quiet volcano and what eyewitnesses are calling a clearly upset townspeople turned deadly. The trouble began at 6 a.m. when townspeople refused orders from the volcano to immediately evacuate the area. That level of disrespect and open hostility left the volcano with no choice but to employ standard crowd dispersal tactics, such as molten lava, burning ash, and poisonous air, said Volcano Guild President Mike Solange in an extended interview. Solange also pointed out to the extensive damage done by the townspeople in response to the volcano. You've got Main Street covered in tire skid marks from fleeing. We had reports of screaming that were way above normal noise ordinance levels, and you've got bones and charred corpses covering everything. We're not even talking the structural and cosmetic property damage the volcano incurred after it was forced to erupt. Although there were no reported survivors at the scene, volcano officials are still looking into claims that at least 2 townspeople had previously posted incendiary comments in anti-lava Facebook groups and that they had also used marijuana. This is more breaking news from Weird at Night News. Thank you, Doc Blammer. Well, that is a lot to absorb. And maybe we could even see some symbolism to the current time in these tales from the very, very wise Doc Blammer. But thank you for being on the scene, and you should all expect more to come from this. I'm dropping another link to Doc Blammer's Instagram in the chat. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely see it. So, what is next? What is next? Oh, you know what I think we need to do? Because we haven't done it for a while. We should do some automatic writing. If you've never watched the show before, if you've never watched Weird at Night, we have been practicing what surrealists called automatic writing, which is essentially where you write without any processing at all, no editing, and you write until your ego basically starts wanting to cut you off and interfere, because everybody wants to protect their ego. So what we do is I count back from 10, and as I do that, you clear your mind. If you are in the chat and you want to do this, as I count back from 10, clear your mind, and then when I say go, just start writing free form any words that come to your mind. Do not edit, do not correct yourself. And after about a minute, I'll say stop, and when I say stop, we're all going to hit return, and everybody's going to see what everybody wrote. Sound good? I can't see your responses, so I'm just going to assume that it is. So, I'm going to count back from 10. So clear your minds as I count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, everybody, hit return. We'll give that a minute. Let everybody start to register. All right. Okay. Looks like we have some coming in. Right on. Okay, I'm going to read some of these. Thank you all for sharing these, number one. So I'll read mine first. Flying blind, but only so much as I can see. I'm pissed, but more at myself, and I'm lazy enough to believe it's your fault. I'm not prepared to concede anything today. I'm prepared to have it all. Don't give up on your hopes, but stop chasing your tail. Alex F&V wrote, haven't you ever been in a spaceship, though? Because I heard there's cows there, and I don't know where they came from, but I bet they're sweet. One is probably called Daisy or Lola, but I'd name one George. I met a skinny cat named Lard once, and I still don't know what that was, but I hope Lard is good now. Me too, Alex. I hope Lard is good. Blaze in Space says, to boom isolated without starts to see it happened, they had died years ago. It was only an explosion here, a destruction, a terrible combustion of atoms, creating a miracle to be dispersed with one echo, maybe two, and the stars dead many millions of years ago shine still without hurting an ear or a trigger. They shine and they shine. Cowmal, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, just said brickbats. I'm with you. MD Jenkins, Matt Jenkins, one of the greatest automatic writers in this community. I went to the store and bought a double-decker fudge muffin from the lady behind the counter. She wore a hat and a toupee that kind of looked like a sparkling clover suit worn by a multi-decker love. J. Illuminatel, I'm sorry, I can't read that name. Boom goes the sky as the streets which were forced quiet erupt in a frustrated manner. Gold, blue, purple, red explosions, all out there. The frustrations out there, released. Mere death. The booms happened on the count, and I'm left hanging in the apple orchard. There's grasses beneath, and the warm sun will fade one day, but not today. The stars rolling outside are crashing comic cosmetics, and the wild, 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 wild wind of ash won't be freed. Wow. I do think that we just started Lard is Good as a hashtag from this endeavor. But if you guys enjoy this, you really need to sign up for that Discord and go check out the Automania channel. That's all that it is. That's all that it's for. It's for automatic writing and just people to express themselves. So yeah, when we tweet about the show from now on, please tag Weird at Night and Lard is Good. Hashtag Lard is Good. We got Blaze in Space for y'all. Here you go.
Are you hearing that? You hearing that beautiful music? That's Jimmy Jackson. Jimi Jackson with an X. Yeah, amazing stuff. This is their second ambient EP. Some Bubba Kush. Big fan of Bubba Kush. 100% indica. What? I should do a segment. That's right. I gotta do a segment. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a really special edition of Blaze in Space with Blaze in Space. Blaze in Space, Wake and Bake edition. We're gonna kick off today with what I like to call the Seattle Speedball. So where you smoke a little bit of weed. It's the morning, so we're gonna do some super lemon haze. This noodling you hear in the background is Afro Cop's new album, Moondust, which I highly recommend to anybody who likes what their ears do for them. But in speaking of the Seattle Speedball, we've got our coffee, we've got our bowl, and this today we're smoking some super lemon haze. But because there are people here doing some like construction shit on my house, we're gonna add a special ingredient, keef. If you're unfamiliar with keef, keef is the THC crystals, and it's got a little bit of the plant matter in there, that's why it's still green, but essentially they take the weed and they'll freeze it or something to like kind of make it hard so it's easier for the crystals to shake off, and then they shake it through sort of like a bunch of different screens and just the THC crystals shake off. So it can be a little more of a clear high, but it's definitely more intense. Oh yeah, good morning. Good morning to everybody at Weird at Night. I am using a blue lighter today, and I have been working on a script with a scriptwriter who has joined Weird at Night before and may be in the chat, called Can I Get That Blue One? And it's a murder mystery where this blue lighter is the clue that unlocks the whole mystery. So, I'm going to read you a little bit from our script. From my world. So it's like, you know, it's a feature-length script, so we're talking about 120 pages, and I'm going to read you 2. So this is Tori and Hope are outside a bar, and there's karaoke's been going on, and Tori has sort of been trying to hit on Hope and look cool. So they're outside smoking cigarettes. So I'm going to be playing the parts of Tori and Hope, and Stardust is going to be playing the part of Annabelle, who leaves. There you go. So what are you going to sing? Oh, I don't do karaoke. Why the fuck not? You mean watching random strangers ruin my favorite songs and pretend they have talent? No thank you. Karaoke is for people who play Guitar-io on hard, or brag that they're really good at it is nothing but fake victory for real losers. Oh, well, fuck you very much. But this untalented real loser thinks you're full of shit. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. No. And I'm sorry that you're missing out on one of life's most fulfilling time wasters. For your information, karaoke is for everyone who has ever screamed, "Kick out the jams, motherfucker," or sung Benny and the Jets in their car, or "Respect" in the shower, or for anyone, young and old alike, who want to know for just a few brief minutes what it's like to be Sly Stone. Karaoke is for the dreamers, both the good and the bad. And there ain't nothing wrong with having a dream. Shit, you're passionate. And you're hopeless. Unless, may I suggest you sing something a bit funky? Unless maybe I suggest we go somewhere else. We aren't going anywhere until you get up on that stage and sing me a song in front of those strangers. And if it takes you drinks before you do it, so be it. And if I sing you a song, well then maybe you'll get to see some of my passions. But I have to warn you. Oh, I didn't know you came with a warning label. Hush, don't ruin the moment. Is that your warning? So there you go, y'all. 2 pages of a script that I'm working on out of 100 more. I hope you enjoyed that little speech. From my Seattle Speedball to yours. Sip of the good stuff. Breath of the good stuff. You know, if I'm gonna make it through Weird at Night, I probably got to get a little more shut-eye. This has been the Wake and Bake edition of Blaze in Space. Good night.
Thank you, Blaze in Space. That was awesome, an epic journey, and fantastic edition of Blaze in Space with Blaze in Space. So thank you for that. We are rapidly running down the clock here, and we have more to do. So we're probably just going to go a little over tonight. So I hope that's okay. Real quick for y'all, just wanted to encourage you, if you haven't yet, to follow the channel. Give us a follow. You can stay in touch. You can know when the show is about to happen. You get a little notification saying that we're going live. It's useful, and we love having you here. So make sure you give that a click. All right, we are moving on to community creators, and our resident community creator, one of the ones that is with us most of the time, is Matt Jenkins, and Matt has endowed us with yet another animation that is fantastic, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
Don't you ever think I might get sick of myself too, and never being there for you, yeah. I'm sure you probably do, if you even think at all, when you connect the dots between your old photographs of me still hanging out with memories. But tell me, who's the one? Who's the one? Who's the one who's got problems?
Thank you, Matt. Matt has been a steadfast contributor to Weird at Night from the very beginning. several animations, a number of other things, even a kind of improv performance at the Shit Gold open mic. So, Matt, thank you as always for having our back. We haven't done one of these for a while, but I would really like to do an artist Zoom, and this time it's going to be with somebody that I actually know, and that's really exciting. So, this week's artist Zoom. Give me one sec. I gotta reset something here. Okay. And it is Joldy Joeldersma, who is somebody that I met through Matt Jenkins. And it's truly been a pleasure to kind of get to know them and their work a little more. But I wanted to just kind of let you know about a really cool event that Jody has going on called Lifting the Veil. And this is happening at a spot called, I believe it's called Monster in is it in Pioneer Square? It's at 1716 Northwest Market Street. I'm going to drop a link into the chat as well. But the show, the synopsis is, in times of great upheaval, people have a tendency to see change negatively. We see the destructive aspects and conflate it with our idea of the apocalypse as an end times. However, the origin of apocalypse comes from the Greek word meaning to uncover. A new world is being revealed. Lifting the veil on our old assumptions allows space for new systems to be created. This future world might be frightening, but it's also an opportunity to use our imaginations to create a kinder, more inclusive vision. Lifting the veil, this is one piece that will be shown there. But I wanted to drill in on Jody's art a little more, which we will do now. Because there's so many pieces that I just love. This one's called A Woman Becomes the Room She's In. And when Jody and I were talking about her work, we were both laughing because we both love this, this color red. It just makes everything pop. And this is very prevalent in a lot of the work that Jody does. This is not the entire screen. Bad example. All right, there we go. This is another one that I really like, and this one's called Nice Guys Finish Last. I talked with Jody a little bit about, what is her work about? And it's the interplay of gender, nature, culture, and the boundaries we place on them is really the focus of her work. She creates visual narratives inspired by the experience of growing up caught between a collapsing conservative steel town and rural escapism of her grandparents' farm in the coal mountains of central Pennsylvania. She layers distressed drawings, paint, and original photography in her paintings, and uses a self-created papier-mâché technique for her sculptures. So these paintings are really amazing, but they are also just a small sampling of Jody's work. I have some more to show you. I really like. The name of this one is The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, which I just think is such an amazing name. But again, just this use of green and red against this dark blue and the black they just pop so intensely. So anyway, this is just a small sampling of Jody's work. But I hope you'll consider, if you're in the mood to go out, next Saturday, the Lifting the Veil exhibit begins, and you can go check it out and probably meet Jody while you're there. But I'm going to drop some links to her work, and please take some time to check it out. Bam. There you go. Joldy Joeldersma, fantastic artist. Really, really somebody that I highly recommend you see. Glad you like the new display there, Ash Maddie. So, I guess maybe we're not going to go long. Maybe, just maybe. we've already come so far. I want to say something to you all. I'm a musician by trade, right? That's what I do. That's what I've always identified myself as. And it's something that has fueled me, has fueled my whole journey through life. You know, either in defiance sometimes it's in inspiration. And this show throughout this quarantine has kept me from even missing any of it, really all that much. And as we've gone on doing this show, has given me a different kind of rush and a different kind of adrenaline than performing. And I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this community. I'm enjoying being a part of the community myself, and we can only get better from here. So hopefully our next telecast, our next Twitch stream would, I am proposing, okay? Will you guys freaking marry me artistically? Can we get art married? Can we do that? Is that possible? Hopefully the next episode I can get this sync shit figured out. But cousin, let's not marry. My cousin said they will not marry me, and I agree. That's a great point. So please click on the links I shared with you guys. You have made this entire endeavor something that I look forward to every single Tuesday and Saturday. And we're only going to get weirder. We're only going to go further. Thank you all so much for 20 episodes, baby. Really appreciate you all. And good night. Happy 5th of July. Hey, everybody. It's me. It's Patrick Galactic, the star of the show, Weird at Night, with Patrick Galactic. I just want to congratulate us, and particularly myself, for getting to 20 episodes. I mean, this is a startling amount of consistency for me. You may not know that, but since we started way back in April of 2020, at that time, the President of the United States had not even told us to inject disinfectants into our lungs yet. That's how different things were. But I guess when I think of the show, really, it's just the dream of a 40-year-old kid who had a dream. Yeah, had a dream. A dream not to die in the pandemic. And I haven't, and neither have you. So thank you. Thank me. Let's get it started. Back to you, Patrick.
One, two, three.